Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's Clarity Soft webinar. Today is Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. I'm Susan Arnold, Implementation Specialist here at Clarity Soft, and today we're doing a webinar on segmenting and searching your data in the database. One of the wonderful things about putting all of your data into a database such as Clarity CRM is it gives you the ability to search and pull up lists in all kinds of different ways. And so today we're going to learn those techniques of how to do searching and then how to use some of those searches to help you do other things within the database to move from module to module. And so hopefully you're going to get lots of new ideas today. That's always my goal, to get you thinking and coming up with new ideas and take them back to your database. So we're going to work with these searches that are part of ClaritySoft. First of all, the quick search, which is in the upper left corner of all the modules. It allows you to quickly search for a specific record or perhaps a group of records, depending on what the text matches that you type. Global search, which allows you to search across multiple modules at the same time for leads, accounts, and contacts. This comes in handy when you want to enter a new lead or perhaps a new account, and you're not sure if it's already in the database. And so you can use the global search to search all those modules and see if a record for that account or contact or lead, it already exists. This is especially helpful for those who might be set to an individual access profile and can only see your own records. So if you use the global search, you can search and see, oh, I see that somebody else already has this account. So we'll talk about that and demonstrate that. Then advanced search. This is where you can do all kinds of different types of searches using different criteria. And then the advantage to using advanced search is once you've created that filter, you're able to save it as a view. And then it becomes part of a drop-down list, and you just simply go to that view and run the filter, and you don't have to recreate it every single time you want to do the same search. And then lastly, we'll talk about how to use your searches. Search for something, select the contacts, send them an email. Search for accounts, view the contacts. Search for activities, view the contacts, view the accounts. A lot of different ways that help you move within the database and do other things. So I guess we're ready to go ahead and get started. We have a nice sized group today. And let me get to my ClaritySoft here. There we go. So in your ClaritySoft, and this is good to do this new webinar on searching. We do repeat this, and the last one we did was last March before our major interface upgrade. So if you've watched the video from last March or previous to that, you'll notice that the screen is different than it is now. So this will give us a new updated version of this particular video. So I'm in my accounts module, and at the upper left of all of your modules, you will see the name of the module, and immediately underneath is a little drop-down list, and this list contains different filters or views. There are some that are already built in, and then some of these that are here you won't see because I've created them, okay? So you always want to check this because all of the modules have these, and especially in opportunities, when you go there, there's all opportunities which would show you all of your opportunities. There are the ones that are active this month, and there are all active. Well, here, active this month means that it's an active opportunity and the close date is this month. So if I pick that, I have close dates of February, okay? If I do all active, I get more records, okay? Because it's looking at all the activities or all the opportunities that are active. So I just want to mention this one because sometimes people go in and they're entering new activities and they save and close it, and then they can't find it in the list because the filter that's up here is not allowing them to see it. So if you have that happen, immediately go up here, check the filter and change it to all opportunities until you see the record you just entered. So these are important to pay attention to in all the modules, okay? So we have those. Then we have this quick search box, okay, which is a quick way to enter some characters to find it. Again, if you've got I've got 200 records in here, but if you've got, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, you surely don't want to scroll through that many records looking for a particular account. So the quick search allows you to come up here, type the first few letters. You don't have to type all of them. Right now, my hands are kind of waving in the air. I just typed NOR and I stopped. And ClaritySoft went ahead and found all of the account records that have NOR in the name. So here it's in the site field. Here it's at the beginning of all of these. So it searches through and finds the matching characters. You want to go to Norcross Carpet, open the record, do what you want to do with it, go for it. To clear it, you click the little X. You want to search for the next one. I'm going to type in this and we get American, okay? And the reason I did this one is I want you to see that the characters you type do not need to be at the beginning of the name of the company. So it'll pick up whatever combination you type and allow you to put it in here. You find what you want again, and then you clear it when you're done by clicking the X. So that's our quick search. Now, the other thing the quick search does let you do, but this is kind of going to depend on how you formatted your phone numbers. Some people are very consistent and some people are not. But you are able to search on a phone number. So if I was looking for a specific, say, area code, I could type in 960 hyphen. And I would get anything that starts with 960, okay? If you haven't been consistent in entering your phone numbers, like some are with the hyphens, some are with parentheses, some are just one long string of numbers, this search won't work for you. So, that's something to consider when you're putting data in your database, is setting some rules on the consistency of the entry of the data into the database. Okay, so that's quick search. If I go to contacts, in contacts, my quick search can be part of the name of the account or the contact. So again, if I type in NOR here, I'm going to get my same companies, okay, because it's looking in both of these. If I type in ERIC, and now I'm hitting the enter key to speed it up just a bit, I get my American, but notice here I get Chattanooga Bridge and Highway Association. There's no ERIC here, but the ERIC is in the contact name. So it's looking both and it will pull up whatever matches. So we have an Eric here, okay, and then we have the other ones with American. So in your contacts, it's searching both account and contact name. If you want to find, a specific person, you can type in the name. I get Andrew, okay? If I had more than one Andrew, they would all come up. So for example, I know there's a million of me in here. So all I have to do is type it and I get all Susans, or I get all Thomas, or all whatever, okay, to get to the record that I want. So that's your contacts. Opportunities, it expands a bit, where in your opportunities, you can search on the opportunity name, the account, or the contact. So most of these opportunity names just have a a lot of these have this. So I'm going to just type in big. And so I get all the opportunity names with the word big in it. Okay. Now, if an account had big in it, it would find it as well. So you can search again for opportunities for a specific person. And it will then find this person. Okay. So this allows you, so basically anything that's hyperlinked in the module is what you can search on in the quick search. So use that to help you get where you want to go and then take off from there. And then I am going to touch base in leads as well, because leads has filters up here. The default filter is to show you the new leads that have come in, but you can see you have all leads. You have working leads to see your leads that have a status of working. So these are here. These are some of these other ones are ones I've added. So you have to sometimes watch this one too, that if you're looking for a certain type of lead, and for example, if your filter is set to new and you open this one, change its status to working, and then when you go back after you save and close it, it's no longer showing up. And if I search for it, it's not there. And then you say, well, shoot, it just was there. Where did it go? Well, come up here and either switch to all leads and it will find it for you, or switch to working leads. Okay, so just be aware of those. I know people get caught up in those sometimes, and they think they end up entering the same record 3 times because they can't find it after they've created it. All right, so next thing is global search. Let's say I want to enter a new lead and I don't know if it exists in the database yet. So what I want to do is go to my Spyglass button, and under there I have global search. Then you have 3 checkboxes here. Already it says include leads because I'm in the leads module. But then I can say, well, I also want you to look at accounts and I want you to look at contacts. And then I can say search. So if I want to type, well, let's put in, I'll put in sample. Okay, so I find an account called sample new account, and I find a contact for sample new account, and I see that it does belong to me. Okay, so I know that I already have an account for sample new account. Okay, if when I type something in, it comes up with nothing, then I know there's no record in the database and I can go ahead and add my new lead for big company. Okay. So this is a good thing for your people to do before they enter any new records in the database, is to go to global search and search to see if something already exists in there. Okay. And as I said, where this also is extremely helpful is with a user who is set to see only his or her own record. So I've logged in as Jim Smith, and I can see here that Jim Smith is the owner, and he has 31 accounts, not the 213 that I was seeing, because I can see all records. So Jim, if he goes to global search, well, first of all, let's say he's looking for a company called Brambleberry. So if he types this in here, he gets nothing, because it doesn't belong to him. So in his mind right now, it's not there, okay? But if he goes to global search and he says, well, look in leads, look in contacts. Oh, look, Brambleberry Tea Company is in here. It's an account, it has 3 contacts, and it belongs to Bill Miller. That's why Jim cannot see it, because it belongs to Bill. So this can be really, really helpful to avoid duplicates being entered, or people just not knowing that something is in there and find out it is there. So if he wants to talk to Bill about Brambleberry tea, then Jim can go and talk to Bill and say, hey, what are you doing with them? So then when you do find something, you say you want to look at the details here. You can see when it was created, when it was last edited. It wasn't touched since last May. So in the last touch date was in January, so maybe it is an active account for Bill, okay? And then you can jump to the account record from here, or you can go back. Or you can go to the record from here as well. So, oops, I don't have permission to view it, see? I can't go see it. So that's what the global search is for, is, for looking before you enter any new leads or accounts and contacts. And it can be very helpful. Okay, so let me go back to me. All right, so we've talked about the quick search and the global search. Now let's go to advanced search, and this is where you can have the most fun in the database. Your advanced search lets you search for anything, okay? So up here at the top, when you come into advanced search, you have a form filter tab, which basically just shows you all your data fields, all your custom fields that you would have. And then you can type criteria or select from a drop-down into the form filter. So you can pick more than one thing here. So for example, maybe I want to find all my active customers who are retail customers, okay? So I click search, and I get my list, and I get 16. Now, what bothers me here is that, yeah, I have this list, and I search for people that are active customers in the retail area, but I don't see a confirmation of that in my data fields here. And just not trusting myself sometimes, I want to see that information. So I'm going to go up here and click on the vertical ellipsis button, go to column settings, and then I'm going to say, well, I want to bring over account type, and I want to bring over, maybe I want to see the city as well as the state. And then I can go down through here and bring over the fields that I know I may want to search on, okay? And you can bring them all over. This is user by user. I don't know if this has anything good in it. And then I want, where'd my industry type go? There it is. So I just bring them over, put them in position where I want them. And all of my, I don't know what I've got in here. I won't worry about that. And then down here, this is how it's sorting the columns. So you can sort different ways by default. This would be the default search that it does whenever you log in. And then you can set your results per page to 20, 50, or 100. The default when you first log into ClaritySoft is 20. I like to change it to 100. And then click apply. So now I can see, indeed, I did get retail for all of my industry types. Now I also got retail and professional services because my industry type drop down is a drop down multi-select. Okay. And then I got active customer as the account type. So now I've confirmed that yes, I did do the search correctly, and that's what I want to know. All right. Once you've done an advanced search, you click on the search options here, the red text, and you get 3 buttons. Edit the view or this filter. Maybe it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. So I can click on edit, which will take me back so I could add, maybe I want to add a particular state of the records that I found and find all the active customers that are retail in. I have multiple ones in Maryland. So perhaps I want to edit it, add MD, search. Now I'm down to just Maryland. Okay. So this search options lets you edit your search. Now, if I want to take this back out again. The second option you have, if you are going to do this search often, then you don't want to have to recreate it every time. So you can save it as a view. And then you say, well, this is, I'll just call it active customers retail. And you want to give your view a name that makes sense for what the filter is. So now what's happened is up here under that drop-down list that we were looking at before, I now have this new view or filter saved. So I can go back to all accounts, all 213. I can come up here and say, well, I want to see all my retail active customers. Boom, done, 16. Okay. Then I can do what I want with this list. So these are the kinds of things you want to think about. What are the ways that I search my data or I want to search my data? Number one, you need the field. Okay, so you might need to add a custom field with options that allow you to search on it. And then when you do the search and create it, save it. And then you don't have to repeat it all the time. So you can see here, I've got active customers, Susan. So this would be all of my active customers. So the account type is active customer. The owner is Susan in my filter. And you can just create as many of these as you want. Here's food and beverage lists that I created before. So these are all the people that are in food and beverage industry, but notice they're both active and they're any account type. They're not just active customers. So again, you decide what's helpful to you, and then you create and save the different filters. All right. And just sit and think about them. Okay. Now, once you've saved some things, the other nice thing about the views is you can share them with your colleagues. So if you go to the Spyglass button, underneath here, you see views. This will give you a list of all the views that you have. So all the ones that you've created, you can rename it, you can edit it, okay, clone or copy it to create another one. Delete it if you no longer want it. And the most important one here is to share it. So if you want to share it with other people, then you can choose all users, or you can share it only with those that you know would actually use it. Okay. And then when you share, when those other users log in, they will then see under their drop-down list, active customer manufacturing. They are able to use the filter, but if they come into the views here, they will not be able to edit it because you are the owner of it. You created it, so they can't mess it up. So if you have one person that's particularly good at creating all these kinds of filters, you can have that person create them and share them with other users. The other thing you can do here is you can set one of your views as the default view that when you log into Clarity CRM in the morning, it will automatically go to that particular view, okay? For example, in opportunities, you may want to set your default view not to all opportunities, but to all active opportunities. And then you can start there. So you just simply click in the, if I just wanted to see my active customers when I come in by default, then I can click in that circle. Okay. All right. So sharing views. Now the other filter that's here too is select users. Right now, I'm seeing all users, okay? If I only wanted to see mine, then I can click in the checkbox and see only my users, or my records, sorry, as the owner. So you can choose to see your records, you can choose to see all records, okay? So you can choose there. So these are all filters here that help you see the data that you wish to see. The list all button will clear out if you had something typed in here. Oh, I'll put the ERIC in again. You can clear it from here or you can clear it from here. Another use of this is if you run a filter here and you go to contacts with that filter, then when you're done there, you can use the list all to get back to all your contacts, which we're going to be doing here shortly. All right, so that's enough on that in accounts. Let's go to opportunities where things can be a little more interesting. And let's say in opportunities, right now we're looking at all active opportunities. So let me go back to all opportunities here. Sometimes it's best to start with all the records, not ones that are already filtered. Then you go to your spyglass, go to advanced search. Now you notice you also have filter here. You can use this, but my recommendation is to always use the advanced search for two reasons. One is you get all of the types of filtering in one function, and you can always save an advanced search, where a filter you cannot save. But if you do a standard filter in the advanced search, then you can save it, okay? So let's see what I want to find. I want to find all my opportunities that are currently active opportunities and actually have a close date of this quarter. So let's see, what do I want to do here? Actually, I am going to go back. Hold on. I'm going to go back to here and say all active. So that's my first level of my search. Then I'm going to go to advanced search. And what I want is a time filter now. And I'm going to come up here, and a time filter gives you all the different date fields. So what I want is the close date. This is when you anticipate closing the opportunity. Okay, and we said we wanted a close date of the current quarter. So that would be down here, this one quarter. Okay, so this quarter would be January, February, March. So I should get a list of opportunities that have a close date of January, February, and March. So let's see. So here's our close date, January, February, March. Okay. And if they're sorted right now by the opportunity name or number, but if I click on the close date column, they will sort in ascending order or descending order, which way you sort. So I only see, so I'm using two filters here. I'm starting with, now it went to all opportunities here. But it's only showing me the ones that are closed date. Now it's not showing me, let's see, it is showing me ones that are one, okay? So I need to fix this search because I don't want ones and losts. I only want the active ones, okay? So let's go edit our search. So I have the time filter, okay, still close date this quarter, but now I need to say, well, the stage is not equal to 1, and the stage, I'm probably going to get my ands and ors mixed up here. And if you don't know whether exactly how it's worded, you can say not contain, and then you can do that instead of not equal to. I'm going to put lost. I think these need to be or. The stage is not equal to. So I've added these criteria to get my active opportunities only, okay? So it can't be equal to 1 or lost or no decision. So let's see if we did it right. All right, well, we're still getting the 1 here. So must be an and. I can hear Linda out there saying, yep, no. Okay, it's an and. So we got rid of our 1. So that's how you would search for your active opportunities. And of course, now you can see, I don't think I want to have to recreate that all the time. So I'm going to save this so I don't have to do it again. And this time we would say, and I'm just going to shorten this. So active ops with a close, oh dear, date this quarter. Okay. So what's going to happen now is all of these are going to show up right now for the first quarter. That's what we're in. So January, February, March. As soon as we hit April 1st, then all of these are going to disappear because suddenly we're in the second quarter. So the time filter rolls forward with you. And so you don't need to go in and keep changing the dates, okay? So what you could do is create another filter for the active ops with a close date of last quarter, okay? And then you would be able to run the last quarter one, and then you could run the this quarter one. Okay, now hopefully, if you had close dates of last quarter, they actually got closed during that time. But you can see how the time filters can be really helpful. And these feed beautifully into reports that you have to run. So a lot of this, what you're learning here, you're going to create the same kinds of filters in reports that you run, because you're going to say, I want to see all my active opportunities for the current quarter. So you know what you anticipate having, or you might want to see them for the next 2 quarters or this 2 quarters, whatever. So you can see that. And then that just keeps rolling forward with you when you run the reports from month to month. So that's how I can create that. And then I can return back to, you know, all my active opportunities and see everything that's active. Now, what is an active opportunity versus an inactive opportunity? In Clarity CRM, all opportunities are active when the sales stage is set to being in the forecast category, which you do in your settings setup of sales stages. One, lost, and no decision are all inactive. So as soon as you mark the sales stage to whatever is one, lost, or no decision, it drops off the active list. And I get that question a lot, like, do I delete the one opportunities? What do I do with them? Well, you don't need to do anything with them because they just stay in here. They become inactive. And if you're displaying your active opportunities, you're not going to see them anymore. And then you can see, you know, one this month, one last month, which again, the close date would have to be this month, February. I think I have one from last month. So there's one that was one at the end of January. Okay. So this close date, if you're using that in your time filters, is very, very important for your team to keep up to date. So it's accurate. Okay. So that's how you can do things in the opportunities. Another one that you might want to do is to find all your opportunities that have an amount that's greater than a certain number. So you could go here and go to the standard filter and say the amount greater than or equal to, and put in a dollar amount that you want to see and search. Now this is going to pull up all opportunities that have that, but then you could again edit that filter, because I have 313 of them. You could edit the filter for the ones that were one, or the ones that are active that are greater than and have a close date. So we could modify that other one. And then you could set the close date for this quarter, this month, and it has an amount greater than this. So I'm hoping that your brains are kind of thinking right now and coming up with ideas on how you can make your use of your list, your data that's in ClaritySoft more useful for you for searching and seeing. Because really these filters that you're running are kind of like just a quick on-screen report. You don't have to print this out. You can see it right here. So that's what you can do. Now, let's do this. Also, I'm going to go to activities and do one quick one there. So all of your modules have these filters. So again, activities, there are some standard filters up here. Usually it defaults to today's activities to show you what your current to-do list is. And if you look at mine, my start dates are really old, and I have 78 activities here that I have not done. And so this tells you that the to-do list, your today's activities, hangs on to an activity forever until you say it's completed. So you never have to worry about losing it. What you really need to worry about is keeping up with it and making sure you complete things on time. And then you have other filters up here for all activities, okay? You can view all activities. Now, right now, I'm looking at all activities that belong to me. But again, I can choose other people to see other people's activities, all right? So again, pay attention to this up here and to your users. So that you're looking at what you want to look at in your list. So let's say I want to find all the activities that were completed in the last 6 months. And then I want to go view the accounts for those activities. So, advanced search. Now notice in activities, you only have the standard filter and the time filter. You don't have the form filter here. So it's a little bit different. But what I want to do is I want to find the activities where the status, and I just like to use contains rather than equal because it's a little bit looser in case I don't type this exactly right. I never can remember whether it's complete or completed. Okay. So I want the status is complete and the time filter is the complete date was in the last 6 months. So I'm getting a total of 69, and then I can see all of these records, which are mostly emails that I sent out at the holiday greetings webinar. But I want to view the accounts for these. Now I could do it in here, but I'm going to get duplicates here. So this is kind of a cool thing to be able to do in ClaritySoft. You select your activities, which is a total of 69, and I have 100 per page. So that is basically selecting all the activities. Then I go to actions and I can say view accounts or view contacts. So if I say view accounts, then it's asking me all the records marked as checked or all filtered records. Either one here will work. Basically, your rule is if the number of records you are seeing at the bottom here is less than what's on the page, then you can do the all records marked as checked. If it's greater than 100, then you would do all filtered records because the check marks only go to the first 100 records. So now I'm in accounts, and now I can see that I have 13 accounts for those 69 activities. So these are the accounts that I have done activities with in the last 6 months. Now over here, I did pull in the field for last touch date. So this does show me the last touch date for these records, okay? So that updates for you automatically in the database whenever you complete an activity or just in the last few months, whenever you send an email out of ClaritySoft to a contact, it will track it as in the last touch date. It doesn't count for emails saved back from Outlook or Gmail, but only if you send it out of ClaritySoft. So sometimes your last touch date might not be 100% accurate if you're sending an email out of Outlook or Gmail. So you have to check that. So this shows me then I can selected activities and go to accounts or contacts. So maybe what I want to do, if I go back to my activities, I still have my 69 records. I could go to view contacts. Then I'd have all my contacts, and I have 15 contacts. So that means a couple of them, I have 2 contacts, and some of them maybe I don't have any. But from here, then I could select these and go to actions and email. I could send an email out to all these contacts that I know I have not touched base with for 6 months. Okay. And then I can type my email and send it out. So these are the kinds of things you want to think about, is you can filter in one module, select the records, and go view records associated with that filtered list in another module. So it makes it easy to do. And then here, just as a quick review, you can type your subject line or just say greetings, and then you can come into here and type hello, and you have insert fields right here. Choose the first name or the salutation field if you know you've used it for nicknames and stuff, and then type your email. And it's going to address the email to each individual person, and then it will save it under the contact record for each person that it's sent to. So quick, easy way to follow up with people and send them an email. Okay. All right. That's one. Now, another one. If I come back to my list of accounts, let me get all of them here. So I'm back to my 213. And if I click on my industry type, I have a lot of blanks here, which is not good, because if I do a search on any industry type, all of these ones that are blank are never going to come up in the search unless I search for blanks. Okay. So there could be my $10 million customer in here that I never ever find when I'm searching by industry. So this is the really, really crucial thing in databases. The data should be complete, especially in category type fields that you're going to search on. And the data should be consistent, like phone numbers should be consistent. States should be consistent. Always use 2-letter abbreviations for searching purposes, so that when you do searches, they are accurate. The other bugaboo that runs in sometimes are people, if you're coming from different spreadsheet lists, sometimes people type things in all caps. You need to fix that before you bring it into ClaritySoft, because especially if you're going to send out form emails like I was just showing you, if you have the contact person's name in all caps, when you pull that into that email, it says hello and then Bob in great big giant letters, and then the rest of the email is all beautiful, proper case. But as soon as that person looks at that email, they know it's not personal. They know it's a form letter email because you didn't put his name in proper case. So just be aware of that. It's always one of the things that I kind of pressure people or cajole them into correcting things when they're putting data in. So it's just one of those things to be consistent. So here's the deal. I don't know how many records I have here that are blank, because I'm down to the bottom of 100. And if I go to the next page, I want to fix these, but I would like to know how big of a project this is going to be before I start it. Now, I only have 200 records. You might have 5,000. Out of your 5,000, how many are blank? You know, this could be a big project. So what you're going to do is you are going to go here to advanced search, and you are going to go to standard filter and select industry type. Now, one more thing here, industry type is a custom field. So it's going to be in the lower half of this list. The upper ones here are your Clarity Soft fields, and below this dashed line are all your custom fields in alphabetical order. So just be aware of that. Sometimes people say, well, my field's not there. Well, just keep going down. It's down towards the bottom. And then I want to say is empty. I want all of the records where the industry type field is empty. I click search, and I find I have 146 out of my 213 are empty. That's not good, okay? So because I might not finish this, I'm going to save this as blank industry type. All right, now I've got that saved. So if I don't get it all done today, I can come back to it and the filter is sitting there waiting for me. But here's another way to use this when you have blank fields. Now I can go down along here and I can say, let's see, I think I have a food and beverage one. So I'm going to look for things that have to do with food. And I'll just pick some things here. I don't know what all I've got here. That's food. Close enough. So I would go down along here and click in the checkbox, and I could go down through the first 100, okay? And I'll click in the checkboxes. So here's another food and beverage. All right, so once I have them selected, then I go to the actions menu, group edit, do all records marked as checked, click apply. Now notice I have 146 records right now that are blank. Watch that number when I do this. So I go to my industry type. I'm going to choose food and beverage. Click apply. It dropped to 142 because I selected 4 records. Those records that I just did disappeared. The reason is the industry type field is no longer blank. So they drop out of my filter. So this tells me how many I have left. So I would keep working here, go down through, pick, manufacturing ones until this whole list is completely empty. Once I get down to no records, that means I've updated all my industry types and I'm finished. And then I could go to the views and delete the blank industry one unless I wanted to keep it for future use when people put new stuff in here and they don't fill it in. Then I can yell at them. So that's a way to use your searching to then be able to group edit and update records. Okay. So that's another use for it. Another use would be if you wanted to search, well, here, active customers for me, or I'll do my prospect list. So prospect list I saved, which is basically the account type of prospect. I have 44, okay? Let's say I wanted to kick this list out into Excel for whatever reason. So I can select here, go to Actions, Export to Excel, all records marked as checked because it's less than the 100. And then it brings up your column customization. So on the left here are all of the fields in your account record. And on the right are your fields that you're kicking out into Excel. So basically you can just, I can bring these back over. If I wanted the account type, which should all be prospects, and then anything else I wanted to pull over, I've got industry type, I've got the last touch date, I've got where they are. So again, I would just go down through, pick, send it out to Excel, and it will create an Excel file for me. Now, some of you might find that you don't have the option export to Excel because it may be turned off. You might not have the rights to it. So it just throws it out, whatever you told it to come out, and you got your list. Now, you also could run a report using the same filter and accomplish the same thing, okay? One last type of search under advanced search is a product filter. If you're using the price book in ClaritySoft, you can go to accounts, you can go to opportunities and quotes and sales, and there's a product filter tab. So this would allow you to search by product items or group items in sales, quotes, or opportunities. So if I click in the sales, that means it's going to search the sales module for these products. If you're not using the sales module, then pick opportunities, okay, or quotes, whatever you're using. So you pick which one you want. Then over here, you pick the products. Well, I've got all these coffees here. So I want to find everybody who's ordered some sort of coffee, because maybe I want to send them an email to tell them about a new flavor that we have. So I click search, gives me all the companies that have ordered coffee, okay, or if we've sold coffee to. How do I send an email? Click here, view contacts, click here, email. Done. Type my email, send. Okay. So that's the one last thing with the product filter, which is really nice. So hopefully I've got your brains kind of buzzing and you have some ideas on how you can use these searches to make using your ClaritySoft more efficient for you. If you need to add additional custom fields, then go in and do it to make it so you can easily search and find the records that you want to find. Because that is the absolute beauty of using a database, is all of the searching and manipulation you can do with your data when it's, you know, in the database and it's all nice and accurate and clean. All right. Well, first of all, thank you for attending. We had a really nice sized group today, so we must have needed this webinar. And if you need any help with anything, if you are in Quick Start with Linda, myself, or Lori, then you can contact us and we'll help you. If you are not, then you can call tech support at 888-838-7487, extension 2. Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time, or you can email support@claritysoft.com at any time. If you have some ideas for new topics, then please email us at info@claritysoft.com. So new topics, critiques, feedback, whatever, we want to hear from you. So with that, go ahead and have an absolutely wonderful rest of the day and rest of the week. Thank you for coming.